For more than 30 years, Carlos Peña has owned and operated his dream business, working hard to make a living while doing work he enjoys. Carlos designs and prints signs, banners, shirts, hats, and stickers for people, businesses, and organizations all over the Los Angeles area. Carlos thought that one day, he would hand his business over to his son.
I like it because it's very creative. And when you see the end results, I feel good about it. Like when I see signs out there on the streets that I've done, I even tell my wife, hey, I did that.
But on August 3rd, 2022, Carlos's dream became a nightmare. While doing work at his shop, Carlos heard helicopters flying overhead and commotion coming from in front of the store. So Carlos went out to see what was happening.
Then suddenly a guy comes out and he rushes me. And then as I moved, he hits me. Then I fell to the outside of the shop and he goes inside and barricaded himself inside the shop. And that's where everything started.
The man who shoved Carlos and barricaded himself inside his shop was a fugitive running from the U.S. Marshals. A standoff ensued, and the Marshals called in a SWAT team from the Los Angeles Police Department. At this point, Carlos's problems got even worse.
In their effort to go up and bring the guy down that had barricaded himself inside the ceiling, up in the ceiling, they just kicked doors. They stood up on printers and everything. So they fired about 32 rounds of tear gas for one guy. One guy.
Carlos waited at a nearby store for more than 12 hours as the chaos unfolded. When he was finally allowed to return to his shop a couple days later, the damage was breathtaking. And somehow, the fugitive still managed to escape.
Most of what got damaged, especially my inventory, was due to the tear gas. The tear gas messed up all my clothing, my toners. The damage, I figure it was about $62,000 to $63,000 worth of equipment.
Carlos knows the police were trying to do their jobs as they saw fit, but he shouldn't have to pay for their determination of how to capture the fugitive. Carlos's insurance, as is common, didn't cover damage caused by the government. Carlos had hoped that he could repair his shop after receiving compensation from the city of Los Angeles, but the city refused to pay. Now, more than 10 months later, he's trying to keep his business afloat by operating out of his garage with just one printer, but his revenue has dropped substantially.
When all the damage took place, it broke me not just economically, but mentally. Why do I have to lose my business due to something like this? Sometimes it feels like certain laws work against good citizens.
Pursuing a fugitive is a legitimate function of the government, and sometimes innocent people's property will unfortunately get destroyed in that process. But when that happens, the government must pay for the damage it causes. After all, the Fifth Amendment guarantees that the government cannot take private property for a public use without just compensation. That's why Carlos and IJ have filed a lawsuit against the city seeking compensation for the damage.
I'm teaming up with the Institute for Justice because what happened to me isn't right. I wouldn't like anybody else to keep losing everything they have worked for all their lives.